A new Netflix show seems to repeat one Dexter storyline, which potentially makes it a replacement for the original Showtime series. Based on Jeff Linds's 2004 novel, Darkly Dreaming Dexter, Dexter is a full-fledged franchise spanning many seasons and installments. However, even though the series has spread its roots into prequels and follow-ups since its premiere in 2006, the original show's first few seasons remain the most compelling. While the show's initial writing deserves credit for its early success, Michael C. Hall's portrayal of Dexter's moral ambiguity and internal conflicts made the series even more memorable. Given how Dexter has effectively etched its own identity in the crime thriller genre, no show can come close to replacing it. However, a new Netflix series interestingly seems to borrow a crucial Dexter storyline and even brings its own little twist to it. Its release timing also seems perfect because it aligns with the inception of a new arc in the Dexter franchise. 1992's Flamethrower Killer has the same backstory as Dexter Morgan. Both killers' violent tendencies are linked to childhood traumas. Netflix's 1992 introduces a serial killer, Victor, often called the Flamethrower Killer. For obvious reasons, his name stems from the fact that he uses a flamethrower to burn his victims. His method of murdering his victims may be a little too over the top and far less meticulous than Dexter Morgan's. However, Victor's backstory shares many parallels with Dexter's. Like Dexter, Victor watched his mother get ruthlessly murdered when he was much younger, which served as a trigger for his violent tendencies. Unlike Dexter, who easily manages to blend in the crowd without raising any suspicion surrounding his murderous endeavors, Victor stands out because he sustained many severe burns all over his body when his mother was killed. However, he, too, effectively manages to disguise himself as a normal member of society to ensure none of his victims see him coming. He is not a part of law enforcement like Dexter. However, similar to Dexter, Victor believes he is committing the murders for a higher purpose, driven by a strong but twisted sense of justice. Like Harry Morgan, Fernando Victoria recognizes Victor's violent tendencies in 1992. Both serial killer characters cross paths with guiding figures. Dexter Morgan and Victor's violent tendencies remain hidden from the rest of the world until they run into a guiding force in their respective narratives. While Dexter gets an adoptive father, Harry Morgan, Victor crosses paths with a man named Victoria Fernando who, unbeknownst to him, is deeply connected to his past. Both Harry Morgan and Victoria Fernando recognize what Dexter and Victor, respectively, are capable of. Instead of trying to help them overcome their childhood traumas and suppress their violent tendencies, Harry and Victoria encourage them to use them for the greater good. Harry Morgan creates a fixed code for Dexter, explaining he must abide by it to ensure he channels his need to kill only to make the world a better place. The code explicitly mentions Dexter must only kill other murderers who have evaded the justice system, and his murders must always be driven by a strong sense of purpose. Victoria Fernando gives Victor access to the information surrounding his mother's killers and helps him deduce the right plan to seek vengeance. Both Harry Morgan and Victoria Fernando are portrayed as questionable figures, shaping Dexter and Victor's moral compass. 1992's Victoria is far more morally skewed than Harry Morgan. Harry Morgan meant well, but Victoria Fernando didn't. Fabrizio Contri as Fernando Victoria in 1992 __. While it is often debated whether Harry Morgan deserves to be blamed for Dexter's gradual moral decay, most viewers would agree that he always meant well. He believed he was helping Dexter satisfy his inherent need to kill while still making him direct it toward something that would benefit society. As a law enforcer, his moral compass also allowed him to justify killing other humans as long as they had a history of violent crimes themselves. Owing to this, Harry Morgan's code arguably came from a place of genuine concern and desire to protect Dexter. Unfortunately, for 1992's Flamethrower Killer, Victoria Fernando sees him as a mere ploy to earn money. While he helps him find the men who murdered his mother and shamelessly covered up the crime, he does not mention that he, too, was among the perpetrators. By giving Victor limited access to information, Victoria manipulates him into killing all the powerful men involved in his mother's murder. As Victor sets out to seek vengeance, Victoria pulls all the strings from behind the scenes by threatening Victor's victims and asking them for ransoms. This makes Victoria the opposite of Harry Morgan. 1992 released on Netflix the same day that Dexter's prequel, Original Sin, premiered. 1992 serves as a solid reminder for viewers to hop back on the Dexter train. Even though 1992 shares some intriguing similarities with Dexter, it would be unfair to call it a worthy replacement. The reason being that, despite having a compelling morally grey character like Dexter Morgan as one of its leads, the show falls into the tried-and-tested trappings of the crime thriller genre. Unlike Dexter, it struggles to establish itself as a standout among the sludge of other shows and movies in the popular genre. Interestingly, however, 1992 landed on Netflix on the same day as Dexter's new prequel, Original Sin. While only time will tell whether the prequel will be as successful and acclaimed as the early installments of the parent series, the show already seems to have immense potential. Considering 1992's similarities with Dexter, it can be seen as the perfect reminder for viewers to either check out Dexter, Original Sin, or revisit the original 2006 series. Curious viewers can also skim through 1992 because, despite its inability to break new ground, the Spanish Netflix show introduces enough gripping mysteries and realistic characters to keep one hooked.